Howdy, I'm Ashley and I am here to talk to you about range bags. First, a little bit about me. I was introduced into the shooting world at a very young age by my father. We did some competition black powder shooting when I was probably about elementary school, and I have been a shooting fan ever since. I joined the armed forces and did okay in the shooting realm and even have qualified for a marksman. So, on to my husband.
I'm her husband. I'm John. Like her, I started off shooting at a young age, primarily in scouts, and then from there moved on up into the hunting world. And that's predominantly where a lot of my shooting education came from, is the hunting community.
So, I'm going to go ahead and start talking about my range bag here. This is just a nice black bag, but what you'll notice is it's a backpack, and it has some very nice wide straps. These have some gel. It helps to disperse the weight. One of the reasons that I run a backpack instead of a duffel bag or something like that is that it enables me to have both hands free. When we go to the range or a club, we typically have all of our guns in cases, and that way I can carry them that way. So we will start off with some of the things I've got here. In this pocket here, the only thing I keep in this pocket is a very basic first aid kit. Hopefully you never need one, but it's always nice to have one. And if you use something out of it, it's best to replenish it. Like I said, this is just a very basic one. It's one that we got 3 or 4 of them from Costco so that we could have some around the house. And that, again, is the only thing that goes into this pouch so that if for some reason we need to get to it, we aren't fumbling with a bunch of other stuff. In this pouch over here, I have a cleaning kit. Just picked it up at the BX, so simple, basic, but nice to have. And I also have a pen. I use it for jotting down notes or marking my targets. And down in this little pocket over here, I like to keep a trash bag. If you're going out to the woods or something to do shooting, any kind of trash you pack in, you should probably pack out. So, onto the big compartment. This is just one of the holsters for one of the weapons that I carry a lot. This is not a concealed carry holster, but I like to throw it in here so that if we're shooting, I can put that weapon in here and not have to draw concealed. Here is a shell bag that I use. It has a couple different compartments here so that you can separate the live ammo from the spent ammo, and it has a very nifty little cell phone holder, so that's pretty cool there. I carry a bore snake, something simple. This is just a 22 caliber, but you know, you can use it for a lot of other things. So then I have a chamber flag, so anytime you're out on the range and you're going down to change out your target, you know, clear your weapon, put this into the chamber so the person who's down at the target can know that your weapon is cleared and he's safe where he's at. These are some patches, and I have some break-free CLP. Keep it in a plastic bag because it leaks everywhere, but that way I can do a quick cleaning. I usually do my major cleaning back at home, or I have my husband do it. I like to wear earmuffs for hearing protection. It's very important if you want to keep your ears, your hearing. So I have that. I also, throughout my bag, I have a ton of these foamies. These ones have a little string on them, but they're disposable, and it's nice to have several sets because either I double up if we're shooting a large caliber gun, like some of my husband's, or if we're taking people out. I don't like to loan out my earmuffs. I'm kind of funny about ear sweat. So we have a clay thrower for when I go out with a shotgun. I like to keep a hat in here. When you're shooting, you want to, you know, a lot of times the safety glasses that you end up wearing will, they don't really help with the sun, so the hat does tend to help. More foamies. This is just a nice soft rag for, it's actually from my husband's little scope, and it's for cleaning lenses or whatnot. A pair of Bushnell binoculars That way, if one person's shooting, the other one can see, or you can even see your target if it's a little farther away than you can see. Very handy to have. Glow stick and ammo. I primarily run handguns, so I keep some spare handgun ammo in here. However, usually when we go to the range, we're carrying our stuff in an ammo can, so this is just some spare stuff. My hands always get cold, even in the summer, so I keep some little hot pocket things. We can put them in our pockets. I've been known to put them in my boots, and a spare set of gloves because I always forget my gloves. A knife. This is more of a box cutter style, but you know, very helpful. And targets. I like to bring targets, particularly if you're going to a gun range or club. They don't really like you to bring pictures. They prefer you to use targets. And I have a nice little flashlight. A lot of times when we're shooting, we end up shooting, you know, kind of later in the evening. We're all having so much fun, so this way we can sweep up any spent brass or whatnot later in the evening. And then a multi-tool. You know, they're just handy to have. So I like to keep one in my bag because I've used them for all sorts of things. So that concludes what I have in my bag. On to you, John.
A lot of this is probably going to be redundant. Again, I go with the backpack, and unlike her going with black, I go blaze orange because a lot of times I do wind up shooting out in the woods, and it is rather embarrassing and annoying to lose your bag because it's blending into the ground. Not that I've ever done that. Anyway, like her, I keep one thing in my med pouch, med kit, but because I'm allergic to bees, I also carry an EpiPen and athletic tape because you can never have too much of that. Then down below, carry a bore snake. A lot of times doing your bigger hunting rifles and everything else, you want kind of a clean bore for when you're doing your cold bore shot, so that helps clean it really quick. Trash bag as well, pack it in, pack it out. Over here in this little top pocket, I have some tools and doodads. Earplugs, a lot of earplugs. Got a choke tube tool for changing out my shotgun tube chokes. My Boy Scout pocket knife. And over here, probably the most common thing I use is a flathead screwdriver. And usually it's nice for reefing on an AR bolt to undo a jam. These little green things are actually keys for unlocking your safety on the newer model Remingtons. You can actually put the safety on and lock it. It is really, really awkward to go to the range and find your rifle is locked. A gentleman actually one time not too long ago locked his rifle at home because he had kids, didn't have the greatest gun safe, got to the range, his rifle was completely locked. He wasn't too happy until he discovered that I had some and I lent them to him. Over here on this other top pocket, I keep Allens because, well, do a lot of long range stuff. You're going to have your rings and your bases and everything else come loose. Also, was shooting my 1911. It's got Allens and the screw backed itself on out and the grip got rather wobbly, so that made it rather annoying. So it's nice to be able to put your weapon back together and keep shooting. Sharpie, taking notes, whatnot. And that is that in that pocket. Down here in this small little one on the side, because she always does forget her gloves, always. I keep a spare set for her and a spare set of hand warmers. And yes, even in Oregon in August, she is cold. Going on to the main pouch, a little compartment. I like to carry a water bottle because as you're shooting, your blood sugar drops, you get dehydrated. Hydration, very, very important. This was my goldfish. I got hungry. Food's also good to have when you're shooting. I carry a spare ball cap. Some of the indoor ranges around here actually require that you wear one because you got brass coming up, hitting you on the head. Does not feel good, and we've all been there. Spare set of safety glasses because we do take a lot of friends shooting who aren't really into guns yet. Spare set of gloves. My hearing protection, because she wants me to be able to hear when she's yelling at me at home, so she likes me to have some hearing. Duct tape, it's handy for everything. Like when you're shooting holes in your target, you can't figure out what the news holes are, you go tape them up, you're ready to go.
Or you could use a pen.
Or you can use a pen. My shooting glasses, not overly expensive, but I did drop a little bit of money and got the 3 different lenses that I can switch out. Chamber flag, ammo, more ammo, more ammo, spent brass because, well, that happens. Targets, because, well, you need targets. Staples. And to go with the staples, staple gun. Probably the most borrowed item when I go to the range. Hey, you got a staple gun? I also throw in a more competition style holster in my bag because I prefer to carry inside the waist. I do not like it outside when I conceal carry. As well, I carry a small little flashlight. It's a cheap little thing. You really don't need your zombie apocalypse 300 lumen melting the skin off of somebody type of flashlight. You're going to the range. And lastly, what I like to do is I like to leave a little pouch for miscellaneous, like Predator Call, shotgun chokes. More so I like to keep loose ammo in it. Because you do wind up, you're shooting and your box falls apart and you're like, what do I do with these like 3 extra rounds? You're not gonna just throw them back in your box, so it's nice to have a little pouch that you throw them into designated. And that is my bag, and that was her bag, and thanks.